Hi, it's Judy from Bungalow Quilting and Yarn here, and I wanted to do a little demonstration of how to sew some of the pieced curves for this quilt. This is a clamshell quilt, and I cut all the pieces using a go cutter. I used the clamshell on the go cutter, and since I have done this, I did a couple classes in this, but people come in and they want this quilt. They love it, absolutely love it. So we've sold so much of this fabric. And I just want them to have something to refer to when they get home. And if you haven't ever sewn a curve before, start watching because you'll see how easy it is. So it's a clamshell quilt, and it is put together in rows because people look at this and they wonder how to put it together. And what you do is you have a clamshell here, 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 and here. Now you can see that these clamshells have been cut off. And you're not going to cut off your clamshells until you take it to the quilter, have it all quilted, and then you're going to do your trimming. Likewise, on the sides, your clamshells are cut. You see that they're cut on the sides. And you're going to wait until it comes back from the quilter in order to do that too. So every other row has 2 more clamshells than the row before it. So it's done in every other row like that. So what you're doing is you're sewing right sides together. You're sewing this clamshell to this. And then right sides together, you sew this clamshell to this. Then you've got these pieces done. You sew this clamshell to this. Once you're done doing it, you'll have this kind of a configuration. You're going to start on your next row. And then this clamshell gets sewn to this, and then this clamshell gets sewn to that. Or you can do it this direction, okay? So if you do it in this direction, you're going to be sewing full curves on each one of these. Now you can see that this end of the quilt, I did not cut those clamshells off. I kind of left it because it's an interesting detail for the end of the quilt. And so you're going to cut your binding on the bias and then just finish it again after it's quilted. So you're not cutting those ends off. So let's go over to the sewing machine because before you can do anything, you got to learn how to sew these curves. Hi, it's Judy from Bungalow Quilting and Yarn, and I want to talk about putting 2 clamshell pieces together. And this is kind of a reminder for people who have taken my class and maybe just want a little bit of a beef up when they get home because they don't exactly remember what happened in the class, and people who have come in here to purchase a clamshell pattern and they go home and they're not really sure how to do this. So it's all curved piecing when you put clamshell quilts together, 100% curved piecing. And you always want to put the convex side on top of the concave side when you're sewing. You don't ever want to put the concave on top of the convex and try to sew it, because if you do that, you are going to stretch. You're going to stretch this. This is a bias edge, so you have to treat that with respect. You're less likely to stretch if you're putting the convex on top of the concave as opposed to concave on top of convex. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this one on top of this, right sides together, just like this. There's a little notch in the top of this clamshell, and I'm going to put it just like that. And then I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm going to stitch starting not at the very edge, but 1/4 inch back. Do you see that? I'm starting a 1/4 inch back. I am not going to start right at the very edge. I'm going to put my needle stop down setting on my machine, and then I'm going to stitch. Now, it helps to actually, this is a trick, it helps to lift that piece of fabric up slightly, ever so slightly. You should lift that and keep those edges together. 1/4 inch seam. You can always stop and adjust your presser foot. But I'm actually kind of making a vertical, I'm holding that vertically. I'm holding that piece of fabric vertically. And I'm stitching a 1/4 inch seam. Now see how perfectly those notches are going to line up? Okay, this is always the convex to the concave. You can watch this over and over as many times as you want in case you forget what convex versus concave is. All right, now I'm going to adjust a little bit here. Now look at those ends are coming together absolutely perfectly. And I'm going to stop once again a 1/4 inch from the end. I'm not going to finish all the way to the end. See that? Okay, so now let's look at that. Let's take a look at that. Let's see how that looks. Okay, look how that looks. Look how perfectly that lays. And there's no pinching in it at all. Now, the next one that you would do, if you were going to sew these together in a row, would be this one. You would sew this one to this, all right? And again, you would sew the convex on top and the concave on the bottom. So how would I do that then? How would I bring that over to the sewing machine? Well, I would have to start it down here, which is exactly why I said leave a 1/4 inch separate. Don't go all the way to the end. You want just a little bit of room there so that you can join this piece to this right here. You're going to join that tiny little piece right there. Put your needle stop down in there. Convex to the concave. And I'm going to hold it up just a little bit. I'm going to make that piece of fabric go horizontally. See that? And then look at those notches are going to match up really well again. If they're not 100% in line perfect, it's okay. Overall, your quilt is still going to turn out. It's still going to be okay. These curved pieces are not as difficult as you might think. There we go. Now that notch came right to that edge again, and we're going to go just a 1/4 inch away from the edge. Stop. Take it out. Clip my thread. Now, there we have it. And you're going to continue in this fashion. You're going to continue adding another one up here, and then you're going to keep, that's how you put it together. You put it together in rows. When you're done and you've sent your quilt to the quilter, then this edge gets trimmed off at the bottom, but only when you're done and you've sent it to the quilter and you've gotten it back.